What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Juggalo972 back here, and welcome back to Juggalo972, Part 11, Video Game Edition. Now, on my last live stream and chill, I announced that I was going to be doing this, and I know I didn't give a deadline to, but I'm not going to lie, y'all sent out so many great questions that I wanted to try to get on that as soon as possible. And I'm going to do the best I can to try to maybe do this a little bit more frequently. I know I've been saying that in the past a lot, though, but Lord willing, I can actually be able to stick to this, to a format as well. I mean, especially with everything going on, after recovering from COVID and all that, though, I think everything's kind of going back to normal. So, without further ado, how about we get on to some questions? Here we go. Okay, the first question comes from Art Weingartner. He asked me, the most overrated and underrated video game series. The most underrated video game series, in my opinion, I've got to say, probably because it started to get a little bit more notoriety since it's been starting to get released here in the U.S. I think right now one of the most underrated series currently is the Saga series. S-A-G-A. We're talking like Romance and Saga, Saga Frontier, which honestly is my personal favorite out of all of them, because Saga Frontier was one of the very first RPGs that I played that had the free roaming system that I can remember. It's not just like any other regular RPG like here in the U.S. where you go from one place to another and you're in a knight's castle. No, but you got six or seven different characters, whose stories kind of entwined too. And what was so unique about Saga Frontier was back then, right before it released, though, it wasn't actually Saga Frontier. It was actually never officially finished. Come to think of it, though, because Saga Frontier back in the day, though, was meant to have much more deeper storylines, though. But if anybody who's played it will ever understand just how short some of the stories can be, though, and how lacking in detail some of it can be as well. So I mean, and if I was going to add anything else to it, though, along from the Saga series, I gotta say, since Konami fucked it up, though, I'm gonna say Silent Hill, because it could have been great, but at the same time, though, Konami fucked everything up. To me, honestly, that's where it started, and yeah, I'll add too. Now, for most overrated video game series, hands down, it's a mix between Fortnite, Call of Duty, and yeah, those are the first two to come to mind, though, because the whole, the market is all these gamers are so saturated into free-to-play games too. I will, actually, I'll add a third one there too. Apex Legends. I believe Apex Legends, kind of joins that in, though, because not to mention, everybody's getting into the whole battle royale mode too. Call of Duty jumped in on Warzone with it as well. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a long-time Call of Duty fan, though, but I'd much rather it just kind of just go a little bit, left and, see what else it can really take it to. I mean, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X is coming out real soon, too, so, I mean, we'll see what goes on. The second question comes from Craig Strachan. Favorite wrestling games, which are worth the money and which aren't worth the money? Okay, hands down, the ones that are not worth the money, I can tell you right now, the WWE 2K games. Now, this may be, we can agree to disagree here. But I gotta be honest with you, the 2K games, number one, there's so many bad glitches that have been going on with it as well. It's been oversaturated, with the yearly releases as well, because, with everything, being yearly release, and not to mention, these DLC bundles that seem to come with it, though. The one thing I don't like about, wrestling games is the fact that, those wrestling games, used to take time, to come out, though, and it seems things are being rushed out like Call of Duty, and it's almost like the more rushed out it is, the lower in quality it is. And whenever a game comes out, pre-release, and we have to quote unquote buy it. First off, I don't believe in paying for betas. Matter of fact, I like being open and invited to a beta too. And if WWE games started doing that, though, then maybe I'd give it more of a try. But I gotta tell you, the 2K games suck. The ones that are worth the money, I gotta tell you right now, Fire Pro Wrestling. Fire Pro Wrestling is pretty good. I will say, going back to the WWE style games, though, I will say, the WWE style games that I really enjoyed the most was before 2K games took over. And I gotta tell you, the SmackDown vs. Raw series is really good. SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth. Especially the ones from the PS1 were really good as well. I fucking loved Here Comes the Pain, especially WWF No Mercy on the N64. Those are the ones. And if you got it on the, and if you had the Japanese version, it was called Virtual Pro Wrestling. So yeah, those are the ones worth going out and getting and playing too, because back in the day, though, we just seemed like we knew how to do it right during that time. The next question comes from Jeremy Backman. Thoughts on Manhunt? It's in the top 5 favorite games for sure. Man, you know, I never played nearly enough Manhunt to really, you know, to really give it a fair judgment though. But what I do remember with you know, the whole slaughtering and shit like that though, the whole, you know, the concept of it. I gotta ask Rockstar, why the fuck have they not gone back to Manhunt? That's my take on it though. It almost seems like Grand Theft Auto kind of goes with that too. Not to mention since GTA 5, you know, is on PC right now, and you know, with it being on PC, you know, with all the mods going on like that though, you know, they go crazy out of control. Especially, you know, how GTA 5 with all the in-game purchases that they do and all the additions, you know, it literally became Saints Row, you know, over the past few years too. So, but yeah, Manhunt, that game needs a remaster and it needs to be reintroduced, you know, into the gaming market though, because I'll tell you one thing, that is one underrated gem that Rockstar, you know, definitely has not touched. I do know that it's on PlayStation, the PS4 network for the PS2 games too. I might just play it again, and I would like, you know, I wouldn't mind actually, you know, just playing through it just for myself, and because I don't, you know, the first time I played it though was back in like 2002 on the PS2, and I only remember playing about 4.5 hours worth though, because it was always out of rental and I could never nab it. And the one time I did nab it though, fucking middle school and high school was just, oh my god, in between all that though was just crazy. No, wait, correction, it was 2003, yes, so yeah, high school got in the way. So yeah, blame school for me not playing Manhunt enough. Psychoboy6 asks, Watch Dogs Legion is about to drop, and that's from what I hear. What are your thoughts? You know, I never really played Watch Dogs. I just really wasn't interested in Watch Dogs during that time. I was playing Dead Space during that time, and I was kind of just going back and forth, you know, between when Watch Dogs came out though, I was kind of going back and forth, you know, between games that I had not really picked up, so Watch Dogs kind of took the back seat. Also, what are your opinions of the upcoming Cyberpunk 2077 that will be released at some point this year? I like the fact that, you know, Cyberpunk is doing something different. I love the fact that they're taking their time. You know, I mean, it's really cool, you know, to have Keanu Reeves as a character on there too. I think the whole Cyberpunk, you know, world that comes with it, to be quite honest, so, you know, something that, you know, we don't see very often, you know, because in a way it's kind of like a dystopian future, but at the same time it's like, it also reminds me of what was it? I'm trying to remember that movie, Total Recall, in a way. Then I also like one thing that they're going to be integrating, you know, in all that though, is this big diversity of characters. You know, even people, you know, who, you know, even, you know, the one thing that they're doing really good is doing the research upon, you know, all these characters, especially when it comes to ethnicities too. I mean, especially, you know, in an area where there's a bunch of social justice warriors, when they're saying like, you know, this is not right, you're doing it wrong, yada yada yada. Well, you know what's funny about it though is the fact that the developers, you know, did a really, or like I said, I'm gonna keep putting them over by saying the developers did a really good job on keeping everything quality. I haven't played it yet. As a matter of fact, I don't think there's any demos out for it yet, but I do know that the PC, like once the PC version comes out, that game is gonna kick ass, especially on the consoles too. Because I have a feeling. Not only that, though, one thing that that they're also doing too for both, I think it's Microsoft and Sony. They're also going to be doing a next gen update too, much like how they did with Call of Duty Ghost back in the day. Red Hood 579, four best horror games: Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Dead Space, or Evil Within. I'm gonna cross out Dead Space and Evil Within though, because, you know, I honestly, you know, those two really didn't, you know, hook me like I wanted. You know, I mean, Evil Within is more gory, and I don't know, it was almost like it was too gory, you know, for the wrong reasons. Resident Evil, as of late though, has been doing really, really well, and the remakes I've been doing with Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3, which I've completed. Especially, you know, how Resident Evil kind of just went from being from sci-fi horror action to from originally just being horror. You know, it kind of lost its identity a little bit too. So, and I will say right now, Resident Evil is my favorite. Although, you know, I'm more prone to loving psychological horror like Silent Hill. I mean, especially with Konami, you know, dropping the ball that they did, because especially with the PT demo, if you remember, that shit was amazing. But when it comes down to it, though, you know, the one thing that I love about Resident Evil as of late, though, is the fact that it's been reconnecting, you know, not just with old fans, though, but it's also connecting with new fans all over again. So right now, Resident Evil is probably the one I've had the most fun with as of late, and I cannot wait for Resident Evil 8. Red Eyed Ronin asks, do you think microtransactions and pay-to-win style of so many current games will ever go away, or is it here to stay? You know, I despise fucking pay-to-win. You know what I mean? Now, before I say anything about microtransactions, here's one thing I'm going to say. I don't mind, I don't mind anything paid from the pay scale. I don't mind buying skins. I don't mind cosmetic buys, though. You know what I mean? Because I actually kind of like that shit. Matter of fact, the last time I like the most money that I spent on skins was on Black Ops 2. I bought maybe 7 different skins because I fucking love the 115 skin for it. I also love the Dragon scale skin, if you remember that. But yeah, I only like microtransactions unless they're cosmetic. Now, if they're pay to win, I'm going to tell you right now, though, if you're a pay to win buyer, you're a fucking mark, and I hate you, and I hope you fucking die with a cactus being fucked in your ass over and over again. Pay to win shit is stupid, and it's a good way to rob you, and I'm going to tell you right now, though, EA should go fuck themselves with that shit, though. They should drink a can of gasoline and watch themselves just rot from the inside out. I mean, anything like that, though. I mean, Ubisoft's doing it right now, too, and that's the one thing that frustrates me, though, because, you know, not only that, though, but, you know, with FIFA Soccer and all that, though, with all these stories about these kids, you know, with all these quote-unquote surprise mechanics bullshit like that, though, get the fuck out of here with pay-to-win shit, though. You only want us for our money, and you only want to sit there, you know, on the corporate side and just lay people off, though, that way you can retire, you know, with billions of dollars in your bank, and so you can do whatever the fuck you want at this point. Bullshit. Microtransactions pay to win is bullshit. If you're somebody, you know, among this community who's pay to win, I'll tell you right now, stick them up your ass and walk with the elbows, and then I'll let you win. But as far as microtransactions go, I don't see them leaving anytime soon. But I do know the way things are going, especially, you know, with certain laws, they're now starting to be regulated now, and we've got nothing but EA and Ubisoft to blame the most too. And if it comes down to it, though, here's what I tell people too: if pay to win is out there, if you don't want this pay to win shit to keep happening, speak with your wallet, play the game, but don't buy it. I know that's hard to say, though, but I gotta tell you right now, though, if you speak with your wallet and your money doesn't come out of them, then it says a lot, though. Black Ops 4 is one of those prime examples as well. That's one thing Call of Duty's been doing wrong with in the past Call of Duty games as well. I want to say the past 3 games they've been doing that. Advanced Warfare is where it started, and yeah, and Battlefield. You know, and the one thing I'll give about Battlefield as well, Battlefield 4 specifically did a really good job making it very awesome, but they kind of hit it around too. But yeah, and yeah, speak with your wallets, and if you really want change, though, they'll listen, but at the same time, they'll figure out a way to get money out of you that way too. So yeah, pay to win, whoever you are. If you're one of those marks too, go fuck yourselves. So yes, that is the Juggalo972 Part 11 video games. I had a lot of fun answering all these questions. I fucking love just, you know, being able to have a community with everybody as well, because, you know, the Juggalo community in general, though, isn't just about the music as well. I mean, who knows? Maybe the next Juggalo972 I'll probably do is Psychopathic music. You know, I've got a whole extensive library of Psychopathic music, and I would love to do some of those questions as well too. So, I'm not saying that's what it's going to be, though, but at the same time, like I said, I'm just looking for new ways to kind of just keep, you know, interest, you know, with the community as well, especially, you know, with the Juggalo972, the pot of positivity as well. You know, I'm just trying to be unique in my own way. So yeah, to everybody who sent, to all the questions that I picked out, though, I know some of them were just comments, though, and other than that, though, you know, I had a lot of fun doing this. Thank you all again for sending in all your questions. Much love, peace, God bless. Be good to each other. We're gonna get through this pandemic together as well. We're all gonna bounce back eventually too. So on that note, thank you all again. Peace. Whoop whoop.